Coming up on this year in review edition of Outlook TV, Haley visits Divas Bar in Saskatoon.
Brandon chats with a Toronto jazz singer.
Fred gets his butt kicked at rodeo school. And much, much more. Hello and welcome to Outlook TV. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Robert Mackay, and we're the queer magazine news show with the stories that matter the most from coast to coast.
For this first January 2016 episode, we're going to take you back in time. It's a year-end roundup. We're in Vancouver at the Winter Wonderland.
And our first story is going to be with Skylar, with a bunch of guys batting balls around in the water because it's the gay water polo.
Well, I'm down on my skivvies, ready to play some water polo with the English Bay Water Polo League. Now, I love to swim, but I have never actually played water polo before, so I'm very excited. And we have a great group of people here behind us. Let's get wet.
It's definitely recreational for now. There's people that played at the national level, there's people that have never played before, and totally different levels of swimming skills and athletic abilities, so it's a completely huge range. If you can swim a length of the pool, you're set. A lot of people, especially at this age, a lot of people haven't been playing for a really long time, so there's no need that you can make it the entire game. Like if you can swim a few lengths, or if you can just play for a few minutes and then you need a break, that's totally cool. It's all about getting a good workout, and all ages are welcome. People in their 20s, there's people in their 50s. It's a great group.
On vacation we'd swim, and then I was in swimming lessons as a kid, and then in university I joined the water polo team at SFU, and just kind of did it for fun, and now I play with these guys just for fun, yeah. And this is only designed to protect your ears. So if you get hit really hard with a water polo ball, you get what's called cauliflower ear, which is the same thing you can get in boxing.
What's your most memorable moment so far?
I think it's just the community that you develop. You end up seeing these people in various places in your life, and it's just like one more way to reach out human to human rather than through like an app, I guess.
I've been playing a tournament a year, but I'll play with the Dutch team or the English team. There's a great gay water polo league out there. There's tournaments. You could go a few times a year. You could go to Paris. The gay games in 3 years are in Paris. And so I'm just thrilled that English Bay is up and running again. Yeah. Anybody can play. It's about participation. Of course, you do have like national level and really experienced players, but you also have just people in for fun and good times. And so it's a good mix.
I started with the English Bay Swim Club, and they had a social, and so they were saying check it out. So I came by. The first time I was nervous, so I didn't even play. I just said I'm just going to come and watch. And then I said, you know what the hell, I'll do it. I was a little intimidated, but I figured, give it a shot. And I'm not like the best swimmer, but I find it's a really fun game, and it's a great team. It's a great group of people.
I've never actually played before. I've swam my whole life, but I've never played water polo. So I have my gear, I have my hat.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it's called. What is?
We call it a cap or hat sign. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it looks like I'm on your team by the color.
Yep, that's the idea.
So is this game very hard, or should I be worried, or is it a lot of fun and exciting, and I should be super pumped?
It's high physical intensity, but it's tons of fun.
Next up on our year-end wrap-up, we're going to take you to Saskatoon.
That's right, we're going to go see Patty at Divas to meet our prairie fairies.
I'm standing here outside Divas nightclub in Saskatoon, where we're about to watch the first annual Diva Awards. I'll be chatting with our fab hostess Kiki Rockette, as well as some very talented and deserving nominees, and of course watching the best drag numbers.
Our nominees for Biggest Bar Star, Dustin Norris.
I've had this idea for like a really long time, doing an award show, and it just felt like it was going to be so much work for a really long time, because it takes a lot of work to get all the nominees into a room, get presenters for each award. But for Divas Anniversary Weekend, we were just like, let's make it happen, and we did. And it was packed in there, and I think that we had a really good night.
To be up there and nominated with some amazing activists who are here in the community, that being Garnet Wallistruck, we have Danny Papadopoulos and Darren Hill. All of them have been doing amazing work for longer than sometimes I've been alive. And to be in this category is absolutely humbling.
Baby, we can shake, shake, shake.
I'm not just hoping that drag queens will be more comfortable or trans people will be more comfortable. I'm just hoping in general that part of my legacy and part of the legacy of all these wonderful individuals that are doing the drag is that individuals will feel like they can wear whatever they want at whatever time and not be judged, and they only be judged on the merit and of the person and their abilities, not on what they look like or how they express themselves.
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone who voted for me. Stereotypical does sound.
What would you say to someone who is just discovering who they are?
Honestly, when like you're young and you're in the mix, like you don't know what you are, just be yourself. There are other people just like you. Like if people aren't gonna accept you for who you are, they aren't really your friend. That's like my biggest piece of advice.
And I'm honored to be a nominee with the other hot daddies.
Well, for me, it's giving Kelly Faber the Lifetime Achievement Award because she was the owner of Divas for over 30 years. Like literally over 30 years. Like she paved the way for everybody, so.
Patty Hales, Outlook TV, Saskatoon.
Okay, we're gonna have to take a little break now because I can't hold on any longer. Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
And we're now going to go to Logan for Reverb.
I'm Logan Alexander, and we're here with Outlook TV at the Gallery Gachet in Vancouver, British Columbia to check out Reverb, Vancouver's only queer anti-oppressive literary reading series.
It's a queer reading series that Esther and I started 3 years ago, now 2.5 years ago, in response to some experiences we were having about exclusion of queer writing in mainstream literary spaces, particularly around the exclusion of queer and trans writers of color, and a space that we've created in partnership with Gallery Gachet in the downtown east side to work around issues of accessibility and literary work in the queer community.
I have never ever read in a space where safety was an intentional thing, you know, to provide ASL interpretation for all the performers and to have performers really take into their own accountability and responsibility to be leaders within a performative space.
And as the time progresses, we'll see how it browns.
It really is the venue that has made queerness an accessible and open venue for so many of us who are silenced and marginalized because of our queer and racialized identities. You know, I think we're all learning through this process.
I'm the type of writer who gets incredibly nervous before presenting work to an audience. My work's very vulnerable. I talk a lot about being queer, of course, but also a survivor. And this is the right room for it. This is the right audience to tell those kind of vulnerable stories to. And I always walk into the room, feel really held, feel really safe and witnessed. And when I was a reader, I just had that nice sigh of relief after I was finished reading. Like, I did it. People heard it, and it's okay. It's a welcome space for that kind of story. I would highly recommend reading at Reverb, even if you're a brand new author. It is such a welcoming space. You're going to get big cheers. You're going to get loved up by this audience. I haven't had like a friendlier, more welcoming audience to read in front of.
That says a lot. That's really cool.
And we are now going to take you to, what does yours say?
Well, this is Black.
This is Blue in Montreal.
With Angus.
BBCM, the Bad Boy Club Montreal, puts on one of the largest and longest running gay parties on the planet. This year they're celebrating their 25th anniversary, and we had a chance to talk to the president and original founder about what they're going to be doing this year. Welcome to the show, Robert. Can you please tell us a little bit about what's being planned this year for 2015?
This year for the 25th anniversary, we have a special theme planned. It's called Red Light District Montreal, and it's a tribute to the famous history of Montreal as a nightlife capital, renowned around the world, with the heydays of the Prohibition and the cabarets of the 50s and so on. So our theme this year, including the shows and entertainment, will be along those lines, and it's going to be a very interesting and exciting theme this year.
Can you please tell us a little bit about the history of Black and Blue and when it all started?
So it all started in 1991 by a group of friends who decided to create an event in Montreal, bringing together their friends from New York, Boston, Ottawa, Toronto. And it was a great success in the first year, even if it was by invitation only. And the theme was, of course, linked to a dress code. So black and blue meant, to wear something black and or blue. And we thought that with the color blue as well, which is the color of the French, it would fit very well with the city of Montreal.
How many people were at your first event? Where was it held?
The first event was held in 1991 with about 600 people, and it was held in a former Bank of Montreal branch that was kind of abandoned, and it was very interesting because it was the first quote-unquote gay party all night that was approved by the police back then. So it was great because we could party all night, but we had the approval of all the authorities. So it was a great night.
How many people attend your events these days?
And the number of people who attend the Black and Blue Festival these days for the past few years is about 25,000 people, with 20 to 30 events spread out throughout the week of the festival, as well as with affiliated events that are part of our programming. And the main event in the past few years has attracted about 3,000 people. This year we have the same target, if not a bit more, at the main event.
This year, the main event for Black and Blue is being held in a brand new venue. Can you tell us about this?
The main event this year will be held at the Pierre Charbonneau Amphitheater in Olympic Park, which is next to the Stadium of Montreal. And it's a fantastic venue. In fact, we've never used this venue before in 25 years, and really it's an ideal venue for us.
What are some of the other events happening at the festival?
Some of the key ones include the Leather Ball, the famous Leather Ball of the Black and Blue, on Friday, October 9th. And we're using a new venue this year for that Leather Ball. It's going to be at Bain Mathieu, which is an old indoor swimming pool that's been converted into a club. So that's very interesting. And then, of course, for the second year in a row, we have the big Saturday night event on October 10, which is going to be the Bears and Friends party, which was sold out last year. And then we have a bunch of other things. We have of course, the official recovery party on the Monday after the Black and Blue main event.
Where can people go to find out more?
www.bbcm.org. And the tickets themselves, well, they're available in different boutiques in Montreal, and also the bbcm.org. I mean tickets, individual tickets for the main event, for Bears and Friends, for the Leather Ball, for the recovery party. Those tickets are also available separately. If you need any more information, you can send us an email at information@bbcm.org, or you can call us at 1-514-875-7026, extension 0, and we'll be very pleased to help you. And we welcome all Canadians to come and enjoy Black and Blue 25th anniversary in Montreal this year. It's going to be great.
Well, thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you.
For Outlook TV, this is Angus Pratt in Vancouver.
Next up on our year-end retrospective, we're going to take you to Toronto.
And we got Brandon with a jazz singer.
Hi, Ori. How are you? I'm great. How are you? Good. So can you tell us how you got started in music?
I started apparently in the womb, kicking to the Bee Gees. But I started off my musical career in classical piano when I was about 4 years old. and played until I was about 16. And I actually only started singing when I was about 18. I listened to Ella Fitzgerald for the first time, and I was like, wow, what is going on there?
At 120 Diner, where we are tonight, I understand that you're organizing a series of jazz performers. So can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. Well, I started playing here at 120 Diner last October, and my friend told me about it. They said, the new place, and they love jazz, and they want to have you. And so I contacted the owners, and I had a wonderful gig here. And then we decided to do it every month.
About to take KY again, starry-eyed again, taking a chance on love.
I had the delight tonight to pay tribute to the wonderful June Christie, who was a fabulous vocalist in the 1940s and 50s. And I actually got inspired to do this from my friend Marla Lukowski, because we were in her car a few months ago listening to June Christie. And the other lady that sang was the wonderful Pam Hyatt, who is a huge inspiration to me. She's a very talented actor who made her first CD at the age of 76.
Don't roll by a book about him, just ask me about the blues.
My style of singing is rooted in the jazz of the 1930s and 40s and 50s, but it also uses some modern touches, and I do write some songs. I often do sing jazz standards, and I've always loved scat singing, as inspired by Ella and Anita O'Day, Sarah Vaughan, Betty Carter.
Well, to me, scat singing seems pretty difficult, actually. So can you try to teach me how to do that?
How about let's do Happy Birthday?
Okay.
Ba-ba-doo-dee, boo-dow.
Boo-ba-doo-bee, boo-bow.
Ba-ba-doo-dee-diddly-doo.
Ba-ba. All right, well, you know what? I think I'll leave the singing to you, Ori. But thank you for talking with us.
It's been a pleasure.
And this is Brandon Ben in Toronto for Outlook TV.
And we're going to take a little break now while Robert climbs the ladder.
Hey, Fred. Good.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV. And next up on our year-end retrospective, I'm going to take you to August.
That's right. We're going to Karen with New West Pride.
The concept of the play is basically about Disney characters and some Muppet characters versus animals who are dealing with a disparity between the two communities, humans versus animals, with racism. And it's basically about finding true love and finding yourself between these two communities. The characters are gender neutral. A lot of GLBT characters are being presented in a fashion that it's not an issue. My partner in crime is a male named Cinder. His name's Cinderfella, and we are the two. Prince Charming and Cinder are planning a ball for the animal kingdom and in the human kingdom.
I would say the biggest highlight of Pride this year was seeing the unprecedented level of support coming from the community, the city, the number of volunteers we had signing up to help us out. It was just overwhelming how much support we are getting from all sides. So many people looked at our events listing and thought they were one-off events that were happening because it's Pride Week, but most of them weren't. Most of them happen weekly or monthly or twice a month, and it was just great to allow the LGBT community of New West find out what's available to them here.
You know, honestly, it is a huge honor for me. Just
being able to be a part of the celebration is already something for my own life and my own beliefs in life, my philosophies. I want to live a life that's very, that honors everybody. It doesn't matter who we love, what we look like, anything, what our beliefs are. So it really is in line with how I want to live my life. To AIDS Vancouver for World AIDS Day, we donated a single. So, you know, and it's I mean, the single is called Intellectual, and the words are intellectual, homosexual, glamorous, metrosexual. You know, it's it talks about people we know, people we love.
This is Karen at Newest Pride for Outlook TV.
Next up on our year-end retrospective, we're going to take you to Calgary.
That's right. Fred slapped on his chaps and practiced for Brokeback Mountain 2 with the Calgary Rodeo.
Welcome to the 6th annual Hargrove Rodeo School. Just yay!
So we're here at the Gay Rodeo at Strathmore, and here's Chuck, one of our instructors for the rodeo school. Chuck, can you tell us about what we're going to be seeing today?
Yeah, we're going to be focusing on 5 events. We'll have a roping event, we'll have 2 rough stock events, we'll have 2 what we call camp events. And the camp events are kind of designed to encourage new people to come in and participate without having the expense of animals and stock or horses and all that. The first one will be calf roping on foot, which is not really a traditional rodeo event, but we do it because it doesn't require the contestant to have anything but a rope, and they can throw that. This is your position. You're forward, you're leaning forward, you're ready to go. My left hand is pointing at where his head is going to go. And when I throw my loop, my hands are right here together. Boom. Okay.
Good grip. Feet out.
Turn him left, turn him
Feet
left.
out.
Back bend, back bend.
Nose up. Hips down.
From there we'll do sheep dogging, which is a kind of a high school sport that they do. It's similar to bulldogging, but it takes the horse element out of there. Contestants get in the chute with a 500, 600 pound steer. They got to bring it out, cross the line, and dog it on its side.
Hey, Fred.
Good.
Oh.
All right. We'll be doing goat dressing, which is one of our fun camp events, where a team of 2 cowboys or cowgirls, or cowboy and cowgirl, will try to put a pair of BVD underwear on a little goat. So that one's always fun. Steer deco is a little fast event with 2 contestants, cowboy, cowgirl, or 2 cowboys, 2 cowgirls. One contestant will have the head of the rope, which is wrapped around the horns. The other one has a ribbon that they have to tie around the tail. So they've got to get the steer out across a 10-foot line. They got to tie the ribbon on the tail, get the loop off the horns, and tag the timer that's in the chute. It's a timed event, so they're going for speed. And then our final one is going to be steer riding, which kind of is a lead up to bull riding if they're interested in that. Cowboys and cowgirls compete in both events at our rodeos. And we'll be getting them in there and training them how to get their rigging set.
So you want to be a thumb space away, because if you do try to get out and your hand's right against this block and you're pulling out the wrong way, you're not going to get your hand out. You're going to get hung up and drug and painful.
I'm a bit nervous about this one.
I know.
I don't think it's going to fit.
Try another one.
Go forward, this arm's going to go flat. Yeah, and you're going to get off your butt so you can stand up. And then when it bucks, you're going to turn your elbow in like this and sit your hips. And then forward, sit your hips. Forward, set your hips. And then when you're ready to get off, pull your tail of your rope, look behind you at a certain part of the dirt, and then throw your body and land on your knees only. Hands and knees.
Move back a little bit. Take a nice deep breath with your foot all the way down. Just let him hang. Okay? She's going to go and watch that spot. She's going to jump about 6 times. Then you're going to take this hand, grab your tail, squeeze. Arm up, 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 arm up. Open and roll. Open your roll. You can get off now.
He's liking this show.
their safety gear on, and try to go out and ride that cow or that steer for 6 seconds.
Well, I'm going to be one of the contestants. What's some words of advice?
Have fun, ask questions, be careful, and enjoy.
How big are these cows?
Are you doing shoot dogging?
Yeah.
We don't know yet. They haven't loaded them yet, but they have a tendency to be pretty healthy up here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fred.
That is all the time we have for this year-end wrap-up. Thanks so much for joining us, but we'll be back in January with all new stories.
And remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and if you'd like to join us here at Outlook TV, shoot us an email.
We sure do go to fun places like Winter Wonderland. We've had a great time. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Robert Mackay.
Stay fabulous, Canada.